Lions. Caroline Jaravicius on the outside, along with Emmy Selman, Maggie Mendelson, and Jordan Hopp in the middle. Kennedy Martin, the outstanding transfer from Florida, is one to watch. Let's send it over now to Michelle McMahon for more on the defending national champion Penn State Nittany Lions.
Elise, thanks so much. Yeah, when championship DNA meets fresh new talent for Penn State, you get the combination of Izzy Stark, the setter, and the blockbuster transfer in Kennedy Martin. Anna talked about those holes that Penn State needed to fill coming into this season in order to have a chance at repeating as champions. Well, Kennedy Martin addressed those issues. Chatted with Izzy ahead of this one, asked her what it was like to set the caliber of athlete in Kennedy Martin. She gave me 3 words, guys. So much fun. On the other side of that coin, Kennedy Martin knows what it's like to carry expectation, to carry pressure. She says wearing this jersey comes with those expectations outside of winning a title. That's on a nightly basis. So this isn't just about a return trip to the national championship match. It's about a reconfirmation of a championship identity under a new cast, guys.
Well, thanks, Michelle. We are underway. Penn State, those defending champs in the white jersey and navy bottoms. The Sun Devils in the black with the gold numerals. And ASU strikes first. And I think for Arizona State, they have one match under their belt with this new look lineup that won the Big 12 a year ago. And they're going to try to come right at Penn State early. See if they can get there before those nerves really get to them.
One thing about ASU that really stands out is their tempo. It's a really fast offense. As long as they can be disciplined defensively and get that tempo going, they should find at least a little bit of success today against the reigning national champions.
Stark sends it out, and that is Jaravicius with the first kill, the 6'2" redshirt sophomore. You've really been impressed with how she's been able to transition from the right side to the left.
Going from that right side to the left, now obviously they're both pin hitting positions, and a lot of times teams will have their pin hitters practice both on the left and the right, but she has fit into that. As Kennedy Martin joins this team, she takes over that right side position or opposite position from the outside hitter. Caroline Jaravicius changed up everything, blocking footwork, attacking footwork, and has fit on that left side pin so far.
Jillian Grimes with the serve. ASU goes to the tip, and it works. That is Tatum Parrott, the 6-foot senior local kid out of Phoenix, Arizona, but a transfer from Grand Canyon, also in that Phoenix area.
And look at that fast tempo. She knows she has Kennedy Martin up on that block. Just for everybody, remember, Kennedy Martin, 6'6". So Tatum Parrott has to be crafty and creative if she's going to find success over the 6'6" opposite.
So knotted up at 3 apiece. You mentioned Kennedy Martin back to serve, the transfer from Florida, 2-time All-American, 2-time All-SEC with the Gators. And her serve is short. J.J. Van Niel, the head coach in his 3rd season at Arizona State, the Big 12 Coach of the Year last season.
What a vibe. Man, I would love to play for a coach like J.J. Van Niel. Just what he's done with the Sun Devil program is amazing.
The back set, and it's put down. Jordan Hopp off the block for the point. The only senior in the starting lineup for Penn State is Jordan Hopp, the grad student. Ava Falduto, the 5'7" sophomore libero, out of it. The defensive specialist, rather. And a point for Penn State.
Look at that. This is what sets Penn State apart from everybody else. The shenanigans. And that's one thing that head coach Katie Schumacher-Colley says, hey, I just want everybody to be present. That is the theme for this Penn State team. They dominate, but they also have so much fun while they dominate.
Ooh, the lefty Glover. Good up by Falduto, and another good up by Faith Frame, the libero for ASU. Stark sends it out to Emmy Selman, but good defense by the Sun Devils. And out of the back, put down by Bailey Miller, the 6'3" senior.
That was a huge rally for ASU to win. I mean, talk about dig. Fabulous defense from both sides. But she targets that 6'6" Kennedy Martin in the back row. That's a hard ball to attack.
Too much on the serve, and the error will send it back to Penn State. There's Katie Schumacher calling her 4th year, taking over for Russ Rose, the legend, after 43 seasons. The first woman to ever win a national volleyball championship last season, and so much admiration for her. And it's a difficult time for her personally, battling breast cancer, going through chemo. What an inspiration to so many, not just in the volleyball community, but everywhere, for, you know, just continuing to keep going forward despite the health setback. And she's looking great, says she's feeling great, still undergoing chemotherapy right now, but says she's feeling a lot more energy. And a quick pace to the start of this match. 6-6. Nice up by Parrott. Izzy Stark sends it back out, and it's put back. The big block put up by the Sun Devils.
That was huge. A big question coming into today is Sydney Henry, setter for ASU. They're playing a 5-1 with her where she's front row. She's 5'11", and she's not the most she can be physical up at the net, but it's going to take a lot of mental discipline for her to maintain that physical presence up at the net defensively.
Jillian Neal with the ace. Penn State can't handle the serve, and so it will be the Sun Devils with the 2-point advantage. Jillian Neal, the 6'2" senior, or excuse me, junior, her sister Colby, both getting to play together. Colby number 11, Jillian number 14 for the Sun Devils. And a little bit of cleanup on aisle 9 in the back. Dan Fisher for Pitt, taking a look in person at his next opponent. He'll see these Sun Devils tomorrow as part of the State Farm Women's Volleyball Showcase. It's fun to see this high-level volleyball this early in the season. And the heat provided by Emmy Selman.
Ava Falduto is so good on serve receive, presents her platform early, shoulders down, stays strong with her platform, and then when you got a setter like Izzy Stark who can better the ball no matter what kind of pass is coming at her, that is just hard to defend.
On the slide, the block there by Penn State, put back. And now the quick is the kill for Maggie Mendelson, the 6'5" senior out of North Ogden, Utah. Let's send it over to Michelle.
Guys, something to note here inside PPG Paints Arena. It's a little bit airy in this venue, so Penn State expected some gnarly adjustments, particularly in the serve and pass game. Michael Henchy, the assistant coach, telling me these balls will either float 10 feet out of bounds or will shift left to right in an instant as Arizona State goes big and wide. But keep a lookout for these jump float serves. It doesn't always translate on the screen, but it's shifting like at the last second for these passers. So that's something to note for the serve and pass.
It's dropping super fast, and you can tell in person. The advantage to that is you can, if you get it properly popping off of your hand, you can have it paint that service line in the back, and that is a really hard ball to pass.
Now, we saw earlier Pitt taking on TCU, and the serves are moving all over the place, tough to handle. Also tough to handle Bailey Miller with the kill. She's got a couple of them for Arizona State as we are all tied up at 9 here in set number 1. Stark. Back to Selman and handled by the ASU defense. A tip. Penn State sends it out to Selman, and she gets another termination. They have been feeding Selman, and she is leading the way.
Emmy Selman's been really consistent as well. Again, just Penn State with a setter like Izzy Stark, probably the best setter in the country. You want to be able to distribute your offense.
Oh, that was quick.
Yeah, and have attackers be able to do that. Now, this is what we're going to see. Penn State didn't have a lot to scout from ASU. They just have one match on Friday against Northern Iowa where ASU handled them handedly. So Penn State is going to have to adjust to ASU's extremely fast tempo.
I think a great start for Arizona State. They don't look to have any nerves. Maybe just some good adrenaline that they're dealing with as they face the defending national champs.
And I'm going to give that credit to JJ Van Niel. He's awesome. He is so chill, so calm and collected in how he coaches this team. He says we're going to be a great serving team. And also, we're just going to be a team full of athletes, and it shows.
Now the ace by Jillian Grimes is one of the best liberos that you are going to see. The 5'6" senior out of Westchester, Illinois. I love watching her play.
Oh,
the energy
so
and you better watch out if you have a good kill, because she's going to come in there just chest bumping you. You better watch out.
And that's why she's the best libero. Now, granted, we think she can afford to miss some serves. I'll give that to her. Even though I like to be hard on liberos should not miss serves. But Jillian she transcends just from between the lines, right? When she goes back to the huddle, she's controlling the huddles. She is who everybody looks up to on this team. She's so vocal.
Stark gets it to Kennedy. Pretty back set, and it ends up in the kill to Martin.
And I love how Kennedy Martin, the thing about this Penn State team is they got a lot of personality, and Kennedy Martin, that's what attracted her to Penn State, is the personality. She says she gets along with these players. She's just fit in very well.
Glover, the lefty, that angle was tough.
And Noemi Glover finds holes, but she's also really crafty. She's able to hit weird shots like this.
Well, I think lefties have an advantage, especially here in set one, where you have to just make a mental note. Every time she goes up, she's coming with that southpaw. And the touch and the kill for Penn State. Coach Schumacher-Colley likes that. The execution from her offense as they take a 2-point lead.
And Izzy Stark knows right now she has a 6'4" Emmy Selman on that left side pin. Sydney Henry for ASU, again, 5'11". I'd give her a roster 5'11" at that. They're going to be going head-to-head matchup, blocking and hitting. So look for Izzy to really incorporate Emmy Selman.
Glover. She was skying for that one, and the lefty puts it down.
Coming out of the back row. Look at these hops. Fast tempo. Really fast tempo. And then Penn State's blockers, they can't even get there. Middle blocker completely abandoning Emmy Selman out there because it's just so fast.
Martin out of the back, and the block set up by ASU. Selman sends it over. Miller gets it put back. They go to Miller again, and the block is there, but she tools it. That one out of bounds, and it will be ASU point, and we are tied.
Bailey Miller didn't have as successful of a match on Friday as she had hoped. Yesterday, it was all bets are off at practice. She came in with a look in her eye, ready to dominate.
Selman off the block, and Penn State takes the 1-point lead, and that takes us to our first break. Some high-level volleyball. The defending national, Jordan Hopp, who will send it. And Penn State with a chance here. Selman uses the block as her friend, and the Nittany Lions take a 2-point lead. Michelle?
Guys took a dip into both huddles there, and JJ Van Niel telling his team to stay with the scrappy defense. On the side of Penn State, it was Megan Hodge-Easy, the assistant coach, and also Penn State legend herself, coaching up Emmy Selman on what to do against a heavy double block, telling her to tool a little bit more, go high hands, so look out for that.
Thank you, Michelle. That is Colby Neal. Saw Jillian Neal already get the ace, her sister. And she is back again. Stark out of the back row to Kennedy Martin, and that's how you draw it up.
I mean, good luck digging that. Are you kidding? this just paints the line. So when you have a back row attack, you want to hit those seams. So seams are in between players. You kind of line up 3 across. That's proper back row attack defense. Yeah, that is an undefendable ball. How are you supposed to get that? If you're ASU, you're saying, all right, I dare you, hit it again twice. No, it's Kennedy Martin. She's probably going to do it twice. So this is where Kennedy Martin really adds to Penn State's offense, whether she's front row or back row, because you have to defend against her and know where she is on the court at all times.
Well, Izzy Stark getting the ace, and Arizona State wants a timeout. Penn State has extended their lead to 3, 18-15. Good, because that's what Jaravicius is doing right now. 4 kills on 4 attempts. Here she goes again. That time goes to the off speed. Now Martin, a powerful swing off the contact of the Sun Devils, and good for the kill.
Great court awareness from Jillian Grimes, able to take it with her hand. Her foot's just there, just behind the 10-foot line. Now, if her foot was in front of the 10-foot line, she wouldn't be able to take it with her hands. That you can't do that in this sport. She'd have to take it with her platform. So she's able to take it with her hands, put some tempo on the ball. Technically an out-of-system ball where the setter, Izzy Stark, isn't able to take that second ball and run the offense equally. Jillian Grimes sets in and still stays in tempo for Penn State.
Kennedy Martin's such a force to be reckoned with. An All-American last year, and she's been in double figures in kills every college match she's ever played, and that's 55 in a row. Let's send it over to Michelle.
Caroline Jaravicius has her work cut out for her there on the block. I asked assistant coach Michael Henchy, do you make any adjustments there? Do you pinch in like I thought they might? He said, not really, because she's burned us in both directions. She's gone cross and then she's gone line. So I don't know. Maybe you have some ideas there, Anna, but she is a tough player to stop.
No, that's the thing. You just have to kind of wait. This is where this sounds ridiculous, but you gotta force the unforced errors. Stay disciplined on defense. Your defense in this sport sets up around the block, so the block needs to be closed and going up at the right time. Now, even if the attacker hits around the block, your defense sets up behind that. So theoretically, all of the holes are filled if the hole in the block is filled.
Jaravicius, you know the name, her dad, Joe Jaravicius, the 11-year NFL vet and former Penn State wide receiver, Super Bowl champ back with Tampa Bay, and her little sister Ava also on the squad with Penn State. So I think that Penn State runs in the family.
It's the weekend of sisters. We got Colby Neal, Jillian Neal for ASU. We had Bree Kelly for Pitt, squaring off against Becca Kelly for TCU earlier.
Martin, boy, that had some real velocity behind it. That was a fastball, and the Sun Devil defense couldn't handle it. And that brings us to set point number 1. The defending national champs already 2-0 this season. They've beaten 2 ranked teams. Looking to take set 1. Beautiful dig by Grimes. And then the kill by Jaravicius. Henry couldn't handle the hot shot, and it is the Nittany Lions getting a 4-point victory here in set 1. Katie Schumacher-Cauley's team ready to go here in Pittsburgh. A 25-21 set 1 lead for the Nittany Lions.